Hey everybody, happy Wednesday. Today is Wednesday, September the 8th. I'm Bruce Krabs with Berkshire Hathaway here in Atlanta's Midtown with your latest real estate update on what's happening in our metro Atlanta real estate market. It continues to be a very interesting time in real estate. Things are changing daily. We have to continue watching the market like a hawk because it is always an interesting find. So today I'm going to share with you a little bit about what's going on in the metro Atlanta area. This first section is data from First Multiple Listing Service with information of what's happened over the last 7 days in Atlanta real estate. And the makeup is really starting to change. If you look here at this chart, you will see that new listings jumped up a good bit, 1,798 of them. Back on market's 491, and price decreases. Look how many homes are now decreasing their prices. Remember there for a while, it was going up and up and up, and we were getting those bidding wars and everybody was going crazy. There were so many more closing. I think it was like 2-to-1 closing versus what was coming on the market. And now if you look at closings, 1902, and basically what's on the market or what's coming back on the market, that number has switched. You actually have more now coming on the market that are closing in that same period of time. So that's really, really good news for our buyers. Sellers, it's still very, very good out there for you guys because inventory is low, but it is starting to normalize. No, the market is not crashing. We're not seeing a crash, but we are seeing what's calling normalization. Things are starting to return to a little bit more of a normal market rather than this crazy, extreme, slam you against the wall seller's market that we've been seeing. What's also interesting is the number of price increases that have gone down. If you guys can remember, in recent weeks, it was as high as like 600 and 800 homes were increasing their prices each week. That number is dropping tremendously, and we were seeing price decreases basically at a zero. So huge difference there. You do have a lot that are active under contract. You got a few that are coming soon. Look down here also at the current trends for our statistics here in the Atlanta real estate market. If you notice, the median sales price seems to have seen a peak and is now trending itself back down just a little bit, which is somewhat in line with a market normalizing. The days on market here are also starting to trend back up a little bit. You see, they're slowly coming back up, and we expect to see that continue as more product enters the marketplace, and buyer appetite for the higher prices starts to dissipate even further. We also saw the number of sales starting to drop down. So not as many homes are closing. If you remember my last report, we saw about a 2% decrease in pending sales, both in June and July. We're sort of, I think, seeing the same thing in August, even though those numbers aren't out yet. And we also saw that the supply really continues to roll itself up. So more homes are coming into the marketplace. It's getting a little bit longer market time. Prices are starting to settle a bit, and not as many homes are closing on a monthly basis. So we're starting to see the market normalize, which is a really great thing for buyers, really, and sellers in the market in general. We're not seeing a sudden drop off and everything going into panic. So there's no reason to panic, but there is reason to watch the marketplace and understand what's going on because for our sellers, what we're seeing is we're starting to see a dissipation of those multiple offer situations, seeing things sit on the market for a little bit longer. Maybe you're not commanding those high over list price sales like we were. We're still commanding excellent prices. So if you have considered selling, now is probably the best time you're going to see in a very long time to sell your home. You're still going to cap out at really high rates of sale on your home. So it is still an excellent time to sell your home. For our buyers, it's becoming a better time to buy. Interest rates are still incredibly low. In fact, they ticked down a couple, I think it was 1 basis point this last week, which is not much, but they're incredibly low. And I'm going to show you those in just a minute. But it means that it's still an excellent time for our buyers to buy. And it's getting better. So if you've been holding and sitting on the fence from buying, now may be time to start getting off the fence again and starting to look. Even if you don't want to buy right now, you might want to start getting used to what's out there in the marketplace. Of course, if you ever have any questions, I'm always happy to answer those. My team and I are always happy to answer any questions you have, whether on the buyer or seller side. And I can tell you this, your Zestimate is wrong. If you're looking at Zestimate right now, you will see that the Zestimate is basically way off. The market's changing too fast. Zestimate uses a computer-generated model to compute the values of homes, and right now it's just moving way too fast for Zestimate to keep up with it and for it to really understand what's going on in the marketplace, neighborhoods, and homes that are surrounding to that. So if you're curious about what your home value is, reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to give you an updated sales value on your home, what it's really, really worth. Like I say, Zestimate's just become extremely unreliable. It was never a great model, but it worked somewhat when the market was somewhat normal. Now that it's been just all over the place, we're seeing that Zestimate is just way, way, way wrong pretty much all the time. So if you have any questions about what your actual home value is, we'll be more than happy to provide you with a free one of those. I do want to show you the interest rates real quick before I sign off here with this week's report, because interest rates are still absolutely phenomenal. Look at this. They dropped down a minuscule amount, but look, they even went down from just a few weeks ago, over 3.1%, 3.2%. And now they're right back down at the level 3. Your 15-year rates, look at that, as low as 2.3%. That's super, super low. That's free money, basically, especially when you consider that homes have increased like 16% over the last 12 months. I mean, that's an insane appreciation on your money. And also, if you did not read the latest reports, rents are up almost 10% year over year. So rents are escalating really through the roof. I think the average rent right now is like $1,850 per month, and basically going up about 10% a year. So keeping in mind, that's money you have to pay after you earn your taxes versus your mortgage, which gives you a little bit of a tax break too. So it is getting really, really expensive for my renters out there. We do also now have some really fantastic first-time home buyer programs, 0 and low down payment deals, and it's getting more flexible. There's getting to be some more inventory too. So for our buyers, especially first-time buyers, now is a really, really good time to get out of renting. Before you lose your shirt, before you throw away all of your financial future, you may want to consider that. As always, my team and I are very, very happy to answer any questions that you might have. Please feel free to reach out to us. My email is brew@atlprime.com, or call our office at 404-984-0243. We're always more than happy to help you, give you an honest opinion of what's going on out there. For your particular situation. Not every situation is the same, and not every real estate market is the same. So if you're looking in another city, we're certainly happy to refer you to one of our professional partners out there. We don't pretend to be experts in every single market, but we do have a network of the best real estate agents and professionals in the business, both locally, nationally, and internationally. So we can pretty much connect you anywhere in the world that you want to go. As always, if you have any questions, my team and I are more than happy to help. I hope you've gotten a little bit of a slice of what's going on in the Atlanta real estate market from this update. So I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for tuning in. And hopefully I'll get to see you in real life real soon.